again who wanted to speak at all? Okay. So let's do a roll call, Jackie.
Mayor Holston,
Here.
Councilor Hadley,
Here.
Councilor Whitney. Here. Do I call his name even though I know he's not here?
Yeah, go ahead and call it.
Okay. Councilor Holcomb,
Councilor Fulton has informed the council that he will be late, and we'll just expect him to come.
Councilor Barenboim,
Here.
Councilor Hollett,
Here. Thank you. So additions, corrections, and adjustments to the agenda. Since we have such a full house here, so hold on, we need to move some things around. So counselors, we are gonna move, the attorney's presentations under business from the city administrator up, to right at public hearings. So we'll be doing that quickly, so that we can excuse them and they can make their drive back down the mountain again. Thank you so much for driving up the mountain. So we'll be doing that. We also are adding, under resolutions and ordinances, it'll be 9.1, maybe 10.1. So the OIP property sale will be in there. So that's where we'll be talking about that. And then we have a community services report. We have someone here from the Success Watch Bureau. So when we start that, we'll do that first off rather than last. So that gentleman can also be when it comes time. So those are the adjustments to the agenda. We're gonna move into public comment. And here's the microphone, reminding everybody that we need to make this as brief as possible, 3 minutes. I actually have a timer, so when the timer goes off, you're done. So if you'll come up to the podium, Skip Baker is the first one.
Okay, Skip Baker on McFarland Road. First of all, I want to give a thanks to the standing members of the planning committee. They had a meeting, they brought us in on a new member, and they briefed us on protocols and procedures, and it was very helpful. We got a lot of good information.
Skip, I can't hear you.
This is not working?
No.
Who's working?
Okay. One of the terms that came up that I'm not familiar with was the concept that if I go out on a job site and gain special information, I've got to share it with the whole committee so that everybody's right up and current. And it breaks down to the various committees need what is called a China wall between. I see this term came from this movie, TV series Suits. Wall Street attorneys, they want a firm can support both sides as long as the attorneys agree not to be doing it under the table. This becomes very important in a little town like ours, especially when we start talking about ODAC, Oakridge Economic Development Committee. What they do is confidential. And the reason it's confidential is because the businesses coming into town don't want their competition knowing what they're up to, and the town doesn't want to get premature and get excited about what's may or may not transpire and come to town. So this separation is confidential, and it's very necessary. Years ago, I was an undercover cop in Coos Bay, and I come up with this cover story that I represented Fred Myers, and I was doing a survey to open a store in Coos Bay. The very next day on the newspaper on the front page, Coos Bay, Fred Myers coming to town. It was several years before Fred Myers came to Coos Bay, and I got a lot more careful about coming up with my cover stories when I was undercover. The point is, information like that can get out and it can cause very grave problems. And while we want citizen participation in the community, I think it's real important that one citizen on one committee, we shouldn't be infecting committees with multiple participation from one individual. That's getting too much power and influence in one individual, and that should rest with the city council. And I think it's important that we recognize that. As a for instance, if there was a large company coming in to take over our industrial park, and somebody had advanced knowledge of that, well, they could go buy the key lots in the industrial park, and that industry would have to pay big bucks to that individual to get that property. They might even squirrel the deal. So that's why we have to have that separation. And I think it's also important that we keep our committee members separated. Thank you.
Next I have Floyd Staley. Mr. Staley?
Greetings, everybody. I'm Floyd Staley. Been here since '62, and I have some forms here that the city gave me.
Can't hear you.
City gave me some forms to respond. So I'd like to give a commendation to our police department. And it
We
reads
still
here,
can't hear you back here.
thank you
Thank you, that's better.
for slowing down the traffic on Highway 58 through Oakridge. That's a commendation.
Yeah, okay. We got to slow down now here, too.
Now, the second one is directed to multiple thieves have taken over Oakridge. Anybody aware of that? So, I'm gonna give this to the mayor also. And in case anybody else wants to respond, I got some copies of the commendation and the complaint.
Could you please turn your microphone on so we can hear you back here?
I don't know where,
I believe the microphone is on.
maybe I'm not
You gotta hold
speaking
it.
into it.
There you go.
So,
Thank you.
can I leave these up here in case some of the citizens want that?
You can indeed.
Okay. Yeah, I for one have lost 3 power saws, and there's lots of other people, and I live outside Oak Ridge on High Prairie Road. So they're going out of their way, and we know who some of them are. And I've heard it said that some of these people that are upset about the thievery, that they want to be judge, jury, and executioner. One of these people that was a thief was taken down to the river under a citizen's arrest. He complained about that, and the individual had to go to jail, and somebody down there says, I'll get back up to Oakridge. This is the person that took him down there because he was missing the power saw. He got his power saw back.
Can you watch the dog check?
I need to come.
Well, nobody could see that.
Sorry.
But I don't want the dog, you know, see. That's forward pass. This is over the falls. This is loop-de-loop. Want to see Rock a Baby? Rock a Baby Cha-Cha-Cha. I don't know, this might be a little challenging for me, but maybe not for you.
Not around the world.
Yeah, don't do around the world. Thank you.
That's pretty safe. Brain teaser? I don't know if I could do it again.
Is that your finale? Because your 3 minutes just stopped.
My time's up.
Next I have Gordon Seeley, who signed in.
Yes, my name is Gordon Seelig. Can you hear me back there?
Yep, loud and clear.
I'm new to the area.
Can you state your address for us, please? Can you state your address for us, please?
Oh, my address is 550 Birch
Thank
Street.
you.
So, but I'm new to the area. And one of the thing that really upsets me more than anything else is we don't have a senior center activities around here. At least wise, I haven't found any for a senior center building, which I'm accustomed to from where I've lived in the past. And I wonder why there hasn't been anything here to do for senior citizens. Because in looking around here and listening to people, I think that, and I'd be surprised if there wasn't at least half of the people in this town that are senior citizens or retired people. And even though the population isn't very much, I don't know, I read the sign that says 3,300. I mean, there's around 1,600 people that would be using this center for activities. And some of these activities are, you know, like they have a gaming room or games, and some of them have lunches to them, and most of them have got a fitness room type of a thing for therapy, for having to do therapy work, and I just wondered why we haven't got one in Oakridge here. Any answers?
We don't have one, like you're describing.
Yes.
I think that would be a great idea, and I would hope that the community would support that.
Okay.
And it's something that I think we're gonna be looking at soon in the community center, and what pieces are gonna go into that community center. I would hope that you would use your voice and help us create what
I
would
would
be
be-
appropriate.
I have to.
Good. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, John Kenyon.
Don Kenyon, 76113 Fish Hatchery Road. I came here tonight to talk to the council about work sessions. I was on the Cresswell City website recently and noticed that all of their work sessions have minutes posted. And that made me curious, because as long as I've been here, I don't think we've been recording the minutes for our work sessions. So I started looking at public meetings laws, and to the best of what I can see, it probably should be being done. So I would really like the council to look into that, particularly because you're considering changing one meeting a month to a work session. It would be very important for the citizens to be able to see what's being talked about there.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you. And last I have Lauren Hogue.
Lauren Hogue, 48319 First Street, Oakridge. A while back, the council was talking about revising the complaint process of submitting the complaint, and I just wondered if the council has arrived at any process. So I would look forward to that.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Lauren. Next is mayor's comments, and I'm not going to really make any because we have so much that has to be done here. So my comment is, we have a big meeting, and we're gonna move forward with that meeting right now. I can find what I'm looking for here. Aha, there it is. Okay, so I'm gonna move on to the presentation of the city attorney.
Excuse me?
I'm sorry, thank you for reminding me. I'm gonna move on to the presentation of the city attorneys.
Just a question,
Yes.
I thought I had signed up to,
Oh, okay.
I had also.
I just wanted, just
So you
clarification.
signed up, I have some citizens that have signed up for discussion on agenda items. Is that what you intended, Stephen?
That's correct, yeah.
Okay, then I will call you at that time.
Okay.
Mr. Cutler, did you intend just to talk?
Just
You're welcome to come forward.
Thank you.
And did you also? Okay.
Kathy, is my name on there, cause I might have put it in the wrong spot too.
Okay, Robert Moe,
There you go.
there you go. Well, then we'll get to you too, so let's get going.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Sandy.
My name's Sandy Cutler, I'm a resident here, my wife, Mary Kay, and I've been here since 2004. I'm here because I've been a member of the Economic Development Committee for a long time, many years, and have reapplied to be a member of the Economic Development Committee. I've got lots of experience doing that. I'm not sure that I can be here when you finally get around to appointing the members, so I wanted to come and introduce myself and say I've served and I have high regard for all the other members of the committee. And I'll make a comment about the confidentiality in a moment, but you know, the work that this group does is really important to the vitality and the future of Oakridge. We're volunteers. We work hard, make informed judgments and decisions about what's going to be best for Oakridge, trying to bring jobs and economic development. And so I can't be here for all the meetings, but I would certainly like to be considered when time comes. I'd be happy to provide a resume or any other information. If you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer any questions. About the confidentiality, Skip, I appreciate what you're saying. I'm not sure what all the details are behind that, but having served in many capacities throughout the state of Oregon, including the Governor's Council on Economic Development many years ago, having confidentiality is really important to protect and make sure that you get the right people, and when the time comes that it has to become public, that's great. But before it becomes public, it's really important you protect that confidentiality so that the business interests can be protected. And it's for the best interests of the community that happens. So I put that out there for you. I see another colleague right over here looking at me. Thank you. And that's all. Any questions, I'd be happy to answer. Thank you.
Thank you, Sandy. Gary Carl?
Yes.
I haven't forgotten.
My name's Gary Carl, 48175 East First Street, and I want to echo what Mr. Cutler just said. I also put my name in for the Economic Advisory Council. I'm not going to be able to be here when you all get around to making the appointment, so I'd like to be considered and present myself this evening in case you have any questions that you'd like to ask me. What else to say? That's it.
Mr. Mo?
Well, I don't mind giving my name, but before I give my address, I wanna make sure there's no thieves in here.
You're welcome to be safe.
Robert Moe, and the address is 47959 West Second Street. Two issues, and Floyd took my thunder because I was talking about the police department. Somewhere along the line, the police department's arms are tied. When there's a report on theft, and I've done this a few times, and nobody responds to that, or the response I get back from those, I will not mention no officers' names, I'm just gonna say it's in the police department. My response from them is, we just didn't have time. And I said, no time. Well, there's some legal issues and we just can't pursue that, we might get in trouble. Well, my first comment to that was, well, you have a DA or somebody to talk to, don't you? Well, that kind of went right over the shoulders or over the head. And my other issue is, I won't carry on with that, but we have a very bad issue with it here with drugs, theft. I've got a 6-foot fence around my property. And not for people I don't know, but people that I do know. The other thing I've got going on, has anybody else got any problems with water in here with residue in their glasses after they wash their dishes? Well, I do. And I tell my wife, of course, my wife, she says, there's no problem with the water, and I'm saying, I haul my water from a good friend I have. And it don't taste anything like the fluorine or the chlorine or whatever else we're putting in there. And I'm thinking they're putting way too much, because I take a shower and I can feel it on my body burn. But I'm just saying that for myself. Maybe nobody has that issue, but I do, and I hope somewhere along the line that we can address that, find out how much stuff we're putting in our water, because I'm an old boy from Oakridge. The water we used to drink had bugs. I never got sick or nothing. But this stuff here is, and I know the cancer rate, and I'm just assuming this, the cancer rate is going really high. And I understand some of that problem could come from our water. That's all we got. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Miller.
You bet. Sorry, I'm
Not a problem.
Portland.
Got to see a show that Mr. Forkham has arrived. Thank you. Oh, I'll keep this. So now, have I hit everybody who wanted to talk? Okay. Very good. Stephen, we'll get to you when we,
Yes, ma'am.
okay. I don't want to forget. Okay, so the order that I'm gonna interview attorneys, is gonna be the local government, Lewis Cobb, the Cox, then Thorpe Purdy. So, can I have local government stand first?
Sure, thank you.
You're
So do you want us in that
Yeah,
same?
you can come up here and address the
location?
council.
Try to fit behind here.
You can move it out. I can't move this.
No, yes, I'm little. I can fit it. I did have a summary handout of material that echoed our proposal. I believe it's been handed out, but please let me know if nobody has it. And we did bring some extras, at least for staff, and not enough for this crowd, unfortunately, but I know staff can make copies in the event that anybody would like a copy after the meeting. So I'm Carrie Connolly. This is Mark Wolf. We are part of Local Government Law Group. Our name sort of says it all. We specialize in local governments. That is the work that we do. Those are the entities we advise. We understand the council has some questions about who we are and how we serve our clients. One of which is the city of Oakridge. We appreciate the opportunity to allow you, for you to allow us to provide an initial overview of the work that we do, who we are, how we serve. So who we are, like I said, the name says it all.